All right, we are live. Hello, Corbin. Hello, everyone else. Welcome to our Friday show. Got another edition of Lunar Cycles for you guys today, talking about, of course, the upcoming Cancer new moon next week. So before we dive in, of course, hello and welcome to my wonderful co-host, Corbin. I'll pass the mic to you to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Happy Cancer new moon. My name is Corbin, here to be your astrologer for the evening. I have a background in kind of Western traditional, more like Western and evolutionary. I've been studying a lot of Hellenistic more recently, blending that kind of all together. Here to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who may not know me, my name's Jake. This is my channel, and I'm a hypnotist, amongst other things. And I'm so excited to be joining Corbin today to bring you this show where we'll talk the astrology. We'll have an activation for you. We've got a crystal spotlight and a little bit of a daily practice that we're suggesting for this season. So before we dive into it, of course, I want to pull up my workshop next week, or not next week, this weekend. Oh my gosh, it's already here. Happening this weekend. And this is going to be a wonderful opportunity to dip your toes into the world of hypnosis to get a little bit of a feel for what a session might be like. And this one's all around your past lives and how that can help bring clarity into your present. So this is definitely a wonderful beginner priced opportunity and is framed for anyone who is looking to dip their toes in, or someone who may have had a session already and you just want to have a little bit of an experience here. So hope you can join me. It's coming up on Sunday the 22nd, 6 p.m. and tickets are linked in the description down below. They're on my website and all that. And I will pull up to that so you can see. My website here, of course, has all the information around my practice, as well as my bookings page, which if you click over there, it'll bring you on over here. And you can scroll down to the group workshop, select your time, and then that'll allow you to book. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That's coming up this Sunday, and I hope to see you there. So let me pull us back up. All right. Other than that, it is the solstice, and I'm super excited about that. Corbin, I'm going to hand it over to you for a quick moment because I realized I forgot to plug my internet in, and I want to make sure that we've got good connection here. So I'm going to pop off for just a moment.
Yeah, so later today, it's Friday the 20th as we're recording this. Later today, the sun enters Cancer, and we have our summer solstice. So this is a really exciting time just as we're beginning to kick off the summer season here in the Northern Hemisphere. We celebrate the summer solstice as the day of having the most light throughout our year. And I know, especially where we live here in Minnesota, we're pretty far north from the equator. So we really see that swing in light to dark throughout the season, from kind of the winter solstice where everything is the most dark to this point in time. I know that we had family in town last weekend from Arizona, and they were commenting on, wow, it really is light so much later here. It's kind of playing with our minds. But so yeah, today's also associated with the pagan holiday Litha. So if anyone is celebrating that, happy Litha to y'all out there. But it's really just a nice time for celebration, as why not enjoy the sun?
All right. Thanks for your patience on that. Without further ado, I think I will toss up. Nope. Here we go. Toss this up. There we go. All right. So we wanted to start today with our usual crystal spotlight, talking about the crystal that we've chosen for the vibes of this moon. So Larimar is the one that we've chosen.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have Larimar as our stone for this lunar cycle. It just has that summery vibe. I mean, initially when you look at Larimar, I'm immediately reminded of like the ocean and of just water and kind of that expansiveness. And so I just think like right off the get-go, this is such a great one for right now.
Absolutely. And I'll get up close here so you guys can see. I've got my little Larimar pendant on. This is one of my favorites to wear. I've been wearing it pretty much all week, and I think I'll wear it all next week as well. The
Hmm.
calming energies of it, the tranquility it brings is wonderful.
And I brought my Larimar candle, the Atlantis candle from Yoga Elena over at Mason Jupiter. I'm
Mhm.
really excited to finish burning that one out because I'll take the Larimar stones out and decide, I don't know, some sort of craft to make with them. But I'm really excited to finish the candle, as lovely as it's been.
Right. And one of my favorite aspects of Larimar, as we've got there, it's the dolphin stone is one of its names. And it really has that dolphin connection, that dolphin vibe to it. I mean, you look at it, it looks like the ocean, right? And so it very much has that dolphiny vibe. We even chose a little dolphin Larimar carving there for the slide. And stay tuned for the activation later because it is geared towards this dolphin connection. I'm really excited to share it with you guys. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I think it'll be wonderful to experience. So stay tuned for that in just a bit.
Hmm. So a bit of the background on Larimar, it's like exclusive to the Dominican Republic. So as you're out like shopping around and looking online, perhaps for crystals, make sure that you see that to make sure that it's like authentic. It really is one of like the bigger exports from that area, and it's actually celebrated in the country. It has its own like day where they celebrate the stone, so that's really cool.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite fun facts. Is they have a whole day dedicated to it. Um, and I think the formation of this is really fun too because it's formed basically through like lava process. It occurs in they described it as needle-like crystals, and they're grown together in this solid mass that is formed within cavities in like lava chutes or like lava tunnels. I don't know the terminology there. I'm not a volcanist. Volcanist, is that the right word? I don't study volcanoes, but forming it within lava, I think, is really fascinating, especially because it looks like the ocean, right? It looks like water. It's very much associated with water, but it's formed out of fire, which I think is interesting. Fire and earth, right?
Hmm.
Um, so that was a fun fact. And
Hmm.
uh,
Oh shoot! You know what? We didn't bring that Joan Ocean book,
oh,
but
shoot, I think it's down
shout
on the
out
top table.
Joan Ocean and the Dolphin Connection and
Yeah.
Larimar, and just yeah, some sunny beach vibes.
Mm-hmm. And also, hey, Auntie Leah, Wellness Garden Tool Shed. So great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Oh, and we
It
do
was
have Britt Merritt in the house too.
oh,
Hello, hello.
wonderful. Hello,
Hello from
Leah. Hello, Britt Merritt. Good to see y'all.
mhm.
But it was something that she had kind of mentioned in a few of her books, just about dolphin energy kind of relating to higher intelligence and different like aspects of joy, communication with higher dimensions and different realms, stress relief, and there's also like an association with like dolphins and Sirius, and so there's a lot really to working with Larimar, which is known as the Dolphin Stone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The other association, as we already mentioned, with the candle that we have is Atlantis. And I definitely think that it's a really fun one to work with if you're trying to tune into that energy. If you're working with your past lives in Atlantis, Larimar would be a great stone to help amplify that or strengthen your connection with it, which I think is pretty darn cool as well. I mean, I very much feel drawn to Atlantis, to Lemuria, and the ocean vibes of the Larimar. I feel like is definitely a resonant stone for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Along the lines of higher communication, kind of hearkening to that idea that we mentioned earlier with, dolphins and Sirius and telepathy. And, I think that this stone can really be used for a lot of different channeling purposes or, connecting in with your guides, the Akashic records, anything like that. Um, you know, and be a really great thing to bring in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Which it is associated with that throat chakra, which makes a lot of sense with that communication. Um, and we did also want to mention some optional alternatives if you don't have a piece of Larimar. Obviously, it is a little more on the rarer side as far as stones and crystals go. But some of the alternatives we would suggest would be like moonstone, shells, pearl. Those are all very Cancerian themed stones. Pink quartz I thought was a good one as well, along with like that calming, soothing energy. And I love that Corbin added to this anything from the beach, because that's very Cancer as well, right?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Because my crystals are in a candle, I did bring a black moonstone to be using later on, closer to representing the new moon since it's dark in nature. So I thought that was great for the moment.
I love it. I love it. I know we have that big moonstone. They're so beautiful, especially the black moonstone. All right. I think without further ado, anything else to add on Larimar, the Dolphin Stone Corbin, before we move to the astrology?
No, just hit the like for the dolphins.
Yes, absolutely. Hit the like for the dolphins and comment below. Do you like dolphins? Do you like Larimar? What are your connections with Atlantis? Let us know down below, or in the live chat if you're here live, because we always love connecting with you that way as well. All right. Here is the wheel for you, Corbin, and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So Cancer new moon. I should have riffed right off the bat about like, oh, this is like the most positive new moon of the year. But we really have some like super beautiful alignments. The astrology has been really nice for a moment here. And yeah, we're definitely here to enjoy this moment in time. I think the astrology gets a little bit spicier as we move later into July. But there is definitely a nice moment to enjoy this season, and to kind of relax in that moment that we have. Before we get too deep into like the actual astrology, I really want to start by talking about the archetype of the crab. That's one of the main symbols that's used for Cancer. And I always kind of sit with all the different kind of symbols, archetypes, or ideas that are associated with a particular sign at any moment. And there was just something about crab that really resonated here. And I think looking at crab, even from like an animal totem perspective, can give us a lot of insight into what's going on. So yeah, starting a little bit differently here. So I have a book around animal totems, and I checked to see if crab was in there. And the words that were associated with crab were sensitivity, guardedness, emotional, housekeeping, new directions, and introversion. And I think there's a lot of ways that this comes into play right now. You see crabs, they're crustaceans. They're like, they have their shells on them. They have like a crusted outside to them. They're mostly aquatic. They're not just crabs. There's also like shrimp and lobster that have these like harder exoskeletons that have more of like an armor for their house. And while I was thinking about these crabs and their hard shells and how that all relates to, Cancer and the moon and mothering and the home and nurturing yourself, and maybe listening to that Crab Rave song just a few times, I was reminded that crabs molt and they shed their shells. This is something really similar to what snakes do. It's very natural inside of the animal kingdom for, animals to like lose their shells or skin or whatever. It's part of nature. It's part of how they grow. It's part of how they expand. And it was kind of at that moment that I was like, oh shoot, this is exactly the astrology that's going on. I'm a Cancer moon, and I just kind of started crying when I thought about a crab like shedding its shell, because we're really at this kind of vulnerable new beginning moment in time where we're all stepping out of our comfort zones and doing something new. And there's just a lot here to the archetype of the crab itself. And when we shed our skin or our shells, we're a little bit more vulnerable. We have to protect ourselves from like external danger a little bit more. And it's like moments that we are reminded that we have to like, there might be a lot going on inside of a birthing process, but we have to like come back to our bodies and nurture and take care and support ourselves through the discomfort, through the shifts, and through the changes. So Crab asks us, these are just a few things to be thinking about from like an animal totem perspective or a spirit animal thing. You know, where in my life am I ready to grow and expand into greater joy and happiness? Okay, there's a little bit of astrology buzzwords in here too, but what in my home or in my immediate surroundings like no longer serves me and can be shut away, and rather what new directions or opportunities do I want to reach out and grab with my little claw pincers? Crab asks us, how is fear or sensitivity turning me away from new opportunities or experiences? And if that's the case, you know, if I'm not open, maybe what from the past makes me believe this or think about that. So yeah, I don't know. We just talked a lot about dolphins. Maybe it's like a very animal moment in time, but crabs, dolphins, that's what the astrology is right now. Hey, it's Cancer season. It's all about the water. So to dive into the astrology though, and actually what's going on in the chart here. The new moon is here at 4 degrees of Cancer. This is really early on in the beginning degrees of Cancer. And so, you know, drop a comment in the chat or below, you know, what house do you have Cancer in? You should take a moment and time to go orient yourself. Just find out where that is, because that will help you to understand a little bit more what's going on if you already have an idea. But it's really important to understand where your Cancer house is, not right now for this moon, but also because Jupiter just entered Cancer, which we talked about a little bit a few weeks ago. This is generally seen as one of the brighter spots in the astrology over the next year, as we have a lot of shifts with the outer planets. Jupiter in Cancer is in its, you know, it has a bit of rulership here. It's an exaltation. And so it's a really positive undercurrent beneath all of the kind of more tumultuous changes. So what is Cancer all about? It's a cardinal water sign. Cancers, you know, or cardinal signs in general are kind of seen as initiators and starters and beginners. It kicks off the season of summer. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's kind of that time where I think about some quintessential summer activities that traditionally, you know, kind of are Cancerian, like family vacation, or, you know, a family reunion. But there's always this notion of something happening inside of Cancer season where you're getting the family together. You're connecting with your roots, your heritage, where you've come from. And maybe it was just going up to like your grandparents' cabin, but, you know, that's such a Cancerian thing as well. Again, you know, our family and our roots. There's a lot that happens in the hot of the summer where we kind of like connect with water, whether that be a beach or a pool or a lake or a creek or the river, I don't know, boating on the lake or the river. We just really seek the comforts of water at this time because the rest of our environment is usually like hot, hot, hot. And Cancer also reminds us that we need to take a break after kind of the more hectic go, go, go season that we just came through from Gemini. And Cancer kind of brings us back into our bodies, into our hearts, you know, into ways that we take care of ourselves, others, the ways that we kind of restore and nurture. And those are a lot of things that are associated with water, right? You know, the ability to nourish, replenish, calm, heal, bring back to balance. I don't really know where we would be without water. So yeah, anyways, that's kind of Cancer season in general. If you have like a fond summer Cancerian thing, please share that, because there's something very warm and fuzzy about Cancer, and there's something very Cancerian about looking back and remembering. It's like definitely a way to invoke Cancer as a whole. And those of us who do have these memories, whether they're fond or not, I mean, sometimes Cancer brings up the tougher things too, right? We have tougher things from our past that we have to work through as well. But we kind of know from having these experiences that on a much deeper level, the nature of Cancer and maybe of water in general attunes our body beyond just the physical and like helps us more with emotional mental, spiritual sides and healing and nourishment and restoring as well. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so we have the moon and the sun here together. It's just a great time, kind of where, you know, the sun that represents the divine flow of life, cosmic wisdom, and then the moon, ourselves, our bodies, our emotions, the world around us, that kind of aligns to come together and celebrate the moment of the season. Like I said, Jupiter is also here. Jupiter is at 3 degrees, so the new moon is at 4. Jupiter is at 3, bringing in, you know, good luck, fortune, emphasizing those emotions, really expanding them, making them bigger. You could kind of have some big emotions going on throughout this one. Could be a big emotional release. But, you know, there's something about that back to the crab, there's a desire right now for that expansion that comes after the molting. Like, we're ready to shed that shell and kind of lean into faith and, you know, grow from there. Jupiter in Cancer is like I don't know, like a cosmic support hotline or like a prayer answered for protection throughout this time frame. It's definitely like an omen that it is a season for healing, for growth. I often say inside of readings, like, "Ooh, the time is now!" Like, "Yay, you're right on time!" And there's something about this idea of Jupiter in Cancer for the next 12 months, as all the outer planets are shifting, that is just a really nurturing and supporting. So, you know, at this time, there's a lot of like deeply uncomfortable shifts that are going on with the new beginnings, the new initiations, with all the Aries energy. There's a lot of folks who are bumping into new fears, new obstacles, new problems. Jupiter can help to nurture you, to care for you, to kind of, you know, I don't know, be a cold compress to help numb the pain, for sticking with this like summer idea. But yeah, Jupiter in Cancer, to me, I think the archetypal healer of Jesus or Christ consciousness is very Jupiter in Cancer. And so again, there's just this like beautiful blessing behind all of us through this period of time. So again, find where Cancer is in your chart over the next year, this part of your area of life. It's a fountain of nourishment. I love that. That was a fun thing. We do have some tension in the sky, though. Let's like be real. There's more than just Jupiter and the moon that's going on. So Saturn and Aries are Saturn and Neptune are at the beginning degrees of Aries. They are, you know, forming squares inside of our cardinal signs here. So heads up to anyone who has a lot of placements, sun, moon, or rising inside of Aries or Libra, early degrees of Cancer or Capricorn. You're probably feeling that split between, feeling that square and that tension that we'll be talking about here. You know, just a reminder, both Neptune and Saturn moved into Aries, you know, within the last few months. Inside of Aries, Neptune's representing things like new directions, new dreams, new aims, new goals. A lot of these things, as I've heard from folks, can be stemming from a deeper understanding, a new perspective, you know, perhaps being led by spirit. Saturn's helping us to form new realities, new forms, new structures, new rules, new habits, new processes, new ways of being, of doing. It's just such a shift in what we're choosing to be responsible for, what we're choosing to show up for, what we're choosing to focus on. Aries is really driven by urge, not necessarily knowing where it's going. It's required some blind faith at times. And there's really this zoom, zoom, go, 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 you know, kind of anxiousness to get off the starting gates here. That's being met also with Cancer and Jupiter and the moon, this urge to be comfortable and back to the molting. Like it's okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable at this time. You're supported in your discomfort in some sort of odd way. The crab knows when to molt. Its body naturally goes through this process. It stores up extra things beforehand. And yeah, the stars again are reflecting that what so many of us know right now, that it is time. And again, this astrology supports in the healing, in the change and moving forward. We see this again with even more planets that are in the sky right now, Chiron in Aries and Mercury in Cancer. This is another square just at the later degrees of these same signs of Aries and Cancer, but Chiron known as the wounded healer and Mercury representing our minds. It's another moment to say that there could be feelings, emotions, ideas from the past that are preventing us from moving forward in a new way, that we're nervous about, anxious about. We don't want it to be like how it was before. Things that we need to continue to let go of, to get comfortable with, to move beyond. There's just a lot here supporting us and moving forward in kind of different ways. I want to be sticking with my time here. I think the other thing that I have to say about why this is such a beautiful moon at the time to do whatever you've been intending to do. Not only is Jupiter in Cancer, but the other benefic Venus is in Taurus. She'll be there for the next couple of weeks. And it's all to say that everybody's in the right place right now, and there's not a lot of retrogrades going on. So enjoy the summer for the next few weeks. It really is the best moment of astrology that we have. Jake, do you want to pull up the moving wheel? And we should. Yeah, so this will just kind of go ahead and we'll demonstrate what's going on in the next couple of weeks here and why the astrology changes so much, and what to kind of have your eyes looking out for. But by the time we meet again for the, Cancer new moon, so that'd be the Capricorn full moon, a lot will have changed in the sky. So here we are right now with the, I guess next week with the Cancer new moon. And as we start moving forward here, I'm just going to start moving the wheel forward day by day. In just a couple of days after the moon, we're going to see Mercury move into Leo here. And very shortly inside of Leo, Mercury will start to be in its pre-shadow. We have a Mercury retrograde coming up inside of the sign of Leo later this summer. So just a heads up as Mercury begins to enter there. And then as we get to the 29th, backing up, I want us to start watching what happens here in the late degrees of Taurus as Venus starts to come into her conjunction with Uranus at the anaretic degree, or the last degree of Taurus. This will be a very interesting moment as it's here on 4th of July. But Uranus has definitely caused a lot of spice in the news in the last weekend with the Uranus-Mars square. So perhaps Venus can come in and cool off some of that hostility and tension that's been happening on the world stage. This could be a nice moment to alleviate some of that. We'll also see that Neptune is stationing retrograde on the 4th of July too. So just a really interesting holiday weekend here in the States, in my opinion. And then shifting signs again, we're going to see Venus on the 5th move into Gemini, and right after that, Uranus entering Gemini as well too. So the kind of the stability, the calmness of the season really begins to shift, and there begins to have a lot more fluctuation. The shift of Uranus into Gemini will be pretty big and noticeable, just as the ways that the Saturn ingress, the Neptune ingress, all these other ones have really kind of made an impact. So that's kind of where we're going in the next couple of weeks after this really, really, really beautiful, positive new moon that we have.
Woohoo! Wonderful. Thank you so much, Corbin. And I love too the addition of the animal totem and bringing in that energy. I mean, I said it in the chat. I just love the ways that looking at the animal side of astrology and of the signs can give you that different perspective of looking at the energies, and that different way of interpreting things or pulling on those archetypes. Good stuff. And I did too. I also wanted to say that you were saying something about Jupiter in Cancer being like a balm, and I was like, it's the aloe vera on your sunscreen or on your sunburn, which I
Yeah,
thought was good. Britt Merritt liked it too, so
that's good. I love that. And I mean, yeah, there were a few people mentioning where they have placements. I thought I saw someone on the 10th, just like you. So
me and Jody
what
got the 10th.
a beautiful blessing for, kind of career over the next year to have Jupiter there. I mean, of course, your natal Jupiter plays into this a little bit too. But traditionally, this would be a pretty good thing. I have Jupiter in my 7th. I actually am going through a Jupiter return. I have Jupiter in Cancer myself. So yeah, this is a really big moon for me for kind of relationships. We'll see how that all goes.
Absolutely. I know it's fun doing these shows a little bit ahead of time because I feel like we're extra tuned into the energies and then be able to see how it plays out as we get closer. So it's always a good time. All right. I think without further ado, let me pop up our next slide. Thank you to everyone in the chat engaging. I had a fun time chatting while you were going, Corbin. I just muted myself so I wasn't clacking away while you're talking. But I'm not in the live chats as often these days, and so it's fun getting back in and chatting with people. All right, guys. So our next piece that we wanted to bring into this moon, sometimes we bring you rituals, sometimes we bring you advice about intentions. Well, for Cancer season and for this Cancer new moon specifically, we have this suggestion around daily practice that we're going to be working into our daily as well, and we suggest that you do the same. Certainly don't beat yourself up if you don't make every day, but it's about that intention, right? And what is that intention? Well, it's attuning to the moon for Cancer season.
Well, I'll just say off the get-go, tracking the moon was one of the first things that got me into astrology. It was one of the easier ways to kind of have a more daily practice and a more integrated and personal relationship with astrology. And yeah, I just think that this is such a great exercise.
Absolutely. And I remember you going through that process as well, and talking about the ways that the different moons resonated for you, or the different energies, and you started to notice them. And I also then started to pay a little bit more attention, maybe not quite as in depth as you, but then I started to notice some of those moons that would come around and bring up a certain energy, and I would start to notice that over and over again. And that's the fun thing about these cycles, is especially with the moon, because it happens more regularly, you're able to track and reflect and really gain a lot of insight from working with it and paying attention to it. So what does moon attunement mean? It's pretty fancy word for something that's pretty simple. It is basically just paying attention to the moon. And the most basic way of doing that is just finding the moon in the sky. So if you go out in the daytime or you go out at night, just looking for the moon and noting its physical position, just saying hey to it. And beyond that, if you want to as well, paying attention to what phase it's in, what sign of the zodiac it's in as well. Those are added layers, of course, but the simplest thing, just look at it.
Yeah, and right now, if you're not sure of where the moon is, when we're at a new moon, we can't, it's also called the dark moon. We can't see it. It's not reflecting the light sun because it's actually rising at just about the same time as the sun. And so as we move away from the new moon next week, you'll notice that the moon starts to pop out in the evening. And it will stay out a little bit later than the sun. So you'll start to notice the moon shortly after sunset. And it'll just be a little sliver at that point in time. So that's kind of where, if you need help getting started here.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was going to mention too, I don't know if any of you guys use those apps, like the Stargazer apps, because that will have the moon on it as well. So if you're like confused on where the moon might be,
Mhm.
or maybe it's not visible for you yet, you can use that and, look up beneath the horizon to see where it is too, if you want.
Yeah, that's
Um,
actually a good point. I have a moon app and it has like what time of day it's rising and
mhm.
setting and the shape that it's going to be.
We love technology. The other side of this moon attunement is tuning in and reflecting on your physical body and on your emotions, because those are the things that are associated with Cancer, associated with the moon. And so just reflecting on, how's my body doing? How are my emotions?
Mhm.
And just starting to pay attention to that a little bit more than you maybe normally do. We can often be very mental heavy. And I know that kind of varies by person, right? But I think our society in general is pretty mental heavy these days. And so I think tuning back into your body, tuning into your emotions, it's an important practice to keep up.
Well, and Cancer and the moon inside of astrology, or like reading or something. One of my favorite kind of analogies to use here, which is another animal one that we haven't used yet, would be the fish tank,
Hmm.
and how the moon or Cancer can be kind of like representative of your own personal fish tank. So, if you are the fish, Cancer and the moon can be representative of all the things that are inside of that tank. So if you think about like, it's your house, it's the people in your house, it's the animals, it's how clean is your house, what's the environment like, what's your local surroundings. This isn't just like, how am I feeling today? You can really tune into all the things that are around you that are affecting you. When we think about the moon and the body, think about, and the moon is constantly needing to take care of, a physical comfort, whether that be, safety or food or something like that. How often do you need to grab a layer or remove a layer or fidget while you're sitting just to get more comfortable, or to scratch something? The
Hmm.
moon are all of these little things that we do all the time to just soothe ourselves.
Yeah. And having Cancer in my 10th house, the ways that I want to be comfortable when I'm working is pretty on the nose.
Uh,
Anyway, the other pieces that we suggest for this sort of a practice is, like any daily practice, journaling or voice memoing about this, recording what you notice. And it doesn't need to be intense. I am guilty of this myself. I always think, oh gosh, well, I need to journal, this many pages or spend this amount of time doing it. And then you talk yourself out of doing it because you've made it into this bigger thing than it needs to be. And this sort of a thing can be literally 2 seconds of like into your phone. Oh, I noticed the moon this morning. It looks like it's in, still in Cancer, and I'm feeling pretty happy. It can be as simple as that. But journaling and reflecting on that, recording that, allows you to then look back on that after you've completed this, after you've gone through Cancer season. And we've put that on there as the last thing, making sure that you remember to look back, because the purpose of this sort of reflection work is to help you to notice some patterns, notice something, and learn something about yourself, about the energies. And we highly recommend.
Yeah, because actually, I mean, you'll begin to see the patterns and kind of see what works for you and what sets certain things off in your life. And there are definite activities that I plan for on certain moons, with an understanding that you're going to be better at that point in time because it's just more aligned with the flow of the season. So yeah.
Hmm. And then last but not least, of course, bring along a crystal as support during this endeavor. Um, I really like crystals as, use that pocket stone as a reminder, as that sort of anchor for you to remember, oh, you touch that stone and you remember to look for the moon, or you touch that stone and you think about your body, or you think about your emotions. And I think that's a really good thing to help you stay on track, and remind you to do this sort of work. Bonus points for using Larimar or any of those other Cancerian stones.
Or anything from the beach.
Yeah, anything from the beach too. Put that shell in your pocket. Also, congratulations, Britt Merritt. Your potatoes are coming up from the ground. I'm so jealous. Our garden is barely started. Our season started a little late, and we were also a little bit slow on it, but still got stuff in the ground regardless. All right. Any last comments on this moon attunement, Corbin?
No, it can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. I mean, there's a ton of symbolism just in, can I see the moon? Can I kind of communicate with the moon? Can I not see the moon? Do I need to kind of have more trust and faith? Am I not in relationship? I mean, it's as simple or as complicated. And of course, dig into, moon cycles to get a little bit more, look into the quarter moon and, see how that can show up a little bit into your life too, as you get deeper into the practice.
All right. Well, hello and welcome to the chat, Lisa, and
Hi,
Ken
Lisa.
as well.
Hey,
Good to
Ken.
see you guys. Thanks for popping in. It's been quiet without you. Just kidding. Britt Merritt's here.
I don't know if I said hello to Ocean, but so perfect with all of our themes that we have.
I know. Yeah, Ocean did greet you in the chat, so hello back. All right.
Oh, Jody, I love going back through my dream journal too. And this is something that I also date with the moon, because I realize that I have certain themes of topics of dreams during certain moments of the moon cycle, or in for a long time now, during the full moon, I've been having dreams about moving. As we've been on our moving journey for a moment here, but also at different, during different signs, I dream about different topics too, which is really interesting.
Which, speaking of the ocean, speaking of Cancer season, pulling back up my workshop, which is coming up on Sunday. I did theme this, or I guess not theme, but I did pick the date, Cancer season, for a purpose, because it very much aligns with this idea of exploring our past, exploring our ancestry, that nostalgia. There's also that like cosmic waters association with the quantum and creation. So I think on a lot of different levels, it really aligned with the season, with the energies. So that is coming up Sunday, 22nd, 6 p.m. Central Time, just $22. And I do hope to see you all there. It is going to be wonderful. If you aren't able to make it live for some reason, I do send that recording out afterwards, so you can catch that replay. But it is fun to be live, to be with people, and we will have that optional sharing circle afterwards if you want to talk about your experiences and chat with others. So, and then website, you can get the tickets over here at the on my bookings page, or the links down below in the video as well. Let me pop that down. All right. Well, I think without further ado, it is time for Cancer new moon activation. So I'll give you guys just a moment here to make yourself comfortable. And of course, if you are not able to stay, no worries. You can, I'll pop you off here, Corbin. No worries. You can always come back and do this. And especially if you want to do it closer to the new moon as well. This one is, like I said earlier, themed around the dolphins and that connection to them. And I really wanted to give everyone a really calming, beautiful, joyful experience, especially with some of the energies in the collective right now. I think it's something that, I just felt really inspired when I wrote this, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So let me pop that down. So as you're getting comfortable here, settling into your seat or lying down, whatever is most comfortable to you. And as you settle in, just closing your eyes, starting to tune into your breath. Just paying attention to that in and out. Just noticing in it. And just feeling yourself relax into this moment. Now just focusing on the crown of your head, right up at the top. And just moving your attention, moving your awareness down your body. And as you move, softening those muscles, letting your muscles relax, softening your forehead, your eyes, feeling all those little muscles in your face, softening, relaxing, feeling that relaxation moving down your neck, your shoulders, just letting all those muscles soften. Feeling that relaxation moving down your arms, down past your elbows, your forearms and your hands, and flowing out your fingers. Just letting any tension go. Feeling that relaxation moving down your chest and your back. Softening those muscles around your spine, your shoulders, all those muscles in your abdomen. Feeling so peaceful. Feeling that relaxation flowing down past your hips and your legs, down past your knees, your calves, and all the way out your toes. Just relaxing fully into this moment, allowing your body just to soften. You're safe. Nowhere else to be. Now just imagine yourself walking along the beach. And it's a beautiful day. Just walking down the beach, looking up at the sky, noticing that this brilliant blue, some fluffy white clouds drifting lazily through the air. And looking up at the sky, you notice the sun and the new moon together. And you feel that divine balance. Continuing along the beach, feeling that soft sand under your feet. Hearing the crunch as you walk along the shore. And you feel a gentle breeze wafting across your face, carrying that scent of salt water and sand. Hear the sounds of the birds and the gentle lapping of the water. And as you turn away from the water towards the shore, you notice the palm trees, and past them, the soft rolling hills leading away from the shore. The sunlight casting a warm glow across the landscape. It's so calming, so peaceful. You just feel so relaxed here. Now, gazing back out across the water, you see the sunlight glinting off of the waves. Take a deep breath of that fresh air. Just absorbing that expansive view, taking it all in. And you notice off in the distance some irregular splashing. There's something else reflecting the sun. Take a few steps out into the gentle surf. You feel the water warm, lapping against your ankles And you notice these splashes moving closer. You feel a sense of anticipation rising within you as you recognize who is causing these splashes. You can see who's reflecting the sun. It's a pod of dolphins. You feel a smile spread across your face as the dolphins leap up out of the water. They spin through the air. They seem to laugh and smile back at you. You can feel them calling to you in your mind, in your heart. And you know that they're inviting you to play, to join them in the waters. With joy, you begin to wade deeper in, and you know that you are safe and protected. You know that your guides, as well as these dolphins, will be watching over you. There's only connection and joy to be found here. As you wade out further, the warm water feels soothing, calming. And as you get closer and you approach the pod, they approach you. And in a moment, they're all around you. You can feel their loving energy, that happiness, the freedom coming from them. You feel their smooth, powerful bodies brushing up against you, and you can feel their calming presence. Their clicks and whistles bounce through the air and the water around you. And you laugh, feeling that joy growing even stronger. You notice that one particular dolphin swims up to you. She is a mother. You can see her baby swimming close beside her. As she comes alongside you, you know that she's inviting you to grab a hold of her fin. She's offering you her support as well as the opportunity to swim with her. You can feel other dolphins around you nudging you, encouraging you. And you feel that anticipation once more. So reach out your hand and gently grab a hold of her dorsal fin. You can feel her smooth, soft skin, rubbery under your fingers. She's warm to the touch. And you feel so safe with this divine feminine energy. She looks back at you, asking if you're ready. You smile and nod. And she gathers her energy and slowly starts to swim. You hold on securely, feeling that warm water begin to swirl around you. Although she's picking up speed, she's so attentive, so nurturing. And she's making sure your head is above water, that her baby's still near. She's aware of it all. You feel the waters flowing along your bodies. You feel as one with this beautiful, powerful, and majestic being. She lets out a little whistle, and you know that she wants you to take a deep breath and hold it. So you do. And with that, she dives beneath the waves. And as you enter this underwater scene, you open your eyes, and it's just so beautiful. The sunlight streaming down through the waves, dappling the bodies of many, many dolphins, spinning and swirling around the three of you as you swim through the soothing waters. You can see bubbles and rings trailing behind the dolphins as they swim. And it's such a magical scene. You don't even want to go back to the surface for a breath, but you know You're just a visitor to this magical realm. So as your guide returns you to the surface and slows down, slows to a stop, you roll over onto your back, take a deep breath of that salty air. And just lie there for a moment, floating on the waves. All those dolphins around you, protecting you, supporting you. And as you gaze up at the sky, you notice the moon up there, softly glowing in that bright blue sky. And you feel a deep sense of calm come over you. You can feel the web of life around you. You feel comforted by the gentle rocking of the waves. Nurtured by Mama Ocean. Supported by this mother dolphin. You're cradled so securely. So just take a few more moments, a few last seconds here, just letting yourself feel this wonderful feeling. How calm, how supported you feel. And just notice what comes up for you. Maybe there's a message from the dolphins, maybe from the ocean. Just allow that divine feminine energy to speak to you now. All right. Now, grabbing a hold of your dolphin guide once more, she slowly tows you back to shore. You feel the love, the joy, the excitement, and the gratitude from the dolphins for joining them today. And you know that they would love for you to return anytime you wish. Feeling that love and that support from Mama Ocean, she washes away any last little bits of stress or tension. We're bringing back only positive feelings of love, gratitude, peace, and joy. Now you're back on your feet in the shallows, and just before your new friend and her baby depart, you feel that little baby dolphin nudge your hand, and he whistles goodbye to you, thanking you for spending this time with them. Wading back out of the water, feeling that warm sand once again beneath your feet, and you look up at the sky and smile at the moon above you, feeling that gratitude swell within. All right, now getting ready to come back to the present moment, back fully to the here and now, getting ready to come back to full awareness in your body once more as I count from 5 to 1. Getting ready. 5, 4. You can start wiggling your toes and your fingers. 3 and 2. Maybe taking a little stretch, feeling your breath returning to normal. And 1, opening your eyes when you're ready. Back here, feeling calm, supported, and grateful. There we go. All right. Oh, here we go. Welcome back, Corbin. Welcome back, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all couldn't tell, but I actually started crying a little bit in the middle there. It was like the underwater scene. I was just like, I was seeing it too, and it was just like so beautiful. And I was like, thinking about the dolphins, and I started crying. I'm like, no, you hold it together. You gotta keep leading people through this.
It was really like fun. I don't know if that's like a word to go with the meditation, but I definitely kind of want to do this one again. Maybe you can like clip it into its own thing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've actually been thinking about doing that with a lot of my meditations that I do at the end of these, is clipping them and putting them into their own place
Yeah.
so that it's a little easier for people to access and go back to and remember, like, oh yeah, that's the dolphin one.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
And hi to Mama Sushi. Thanks for joining
Sushi.
us in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely, Ken. You are very, very welcome. Thanks for
Mm-hmm.
joining us. And I hope that the meditation was wonderful for you. All right. What else? Well, I guess let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments below. How was that meditation for you? Was it joyful? Was it fun? Did you cry? Let me know how you felt. I mean, it is very Cancer season to cry. So I feel like I'm right on the energies there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and share in the chat, you know, kind of what you're going through for this new moon. Let us know if you have any intentions just going on in your Cancer world.
Mm-hmm. And I love that Britt Merritt shared. This reminded me of when I swam with 9 dolphins in the Red Sea. Oh my gosh, that's
Oh, it's so cool.
beautiful experience. I'm eagerly awaiting the day when I get to swim with
Mm-hmm.
dolphins for real
Mm-hmm.
in real life. I mean, I've definitely swum with them a lot in the astral, but not yet in real life. And it is absolutely a bucket list goal of mine for this lifetime,
Yeah.
because I know I've done it in other lifetimes. I'm pretty sure I've been a dolphin, but definitely wonderful. And thank you, Ocean. I'm so glad you enjoyed. Absolutely. All right, y'all. I think one last time I will just wait. Oh, sorry, it's the wrong thing. There we go. Just remind you guys of my workshop coming up. Past Lives, Present Clarity, Sunday, 6 p.m. Please join us. It's going to be wonderful, and you don't want to miss it. It's definitely aligned with the Cancer season energies, and I think is a great way to work with these energies, work with this period of time as we lead up to the new moon.
Maybe set an intention to go to an Atlantis lifetime. I don't know if that's how it all works, but
Oh, I mean, you can certainly set intentions. I mean, that's it's a huge part of the whole thing, is like setting your intentions. Of course, if your higher self wants to show you something else, they might.
right. Yeah.
But setting those intentions, saying, this is what I'm interested in, or this is what I'm feeling called to do, totally okay to do, for sure. I was
What are you
gonna
going
just
on next week? Don't you have a really fun show next week
Oh my
too?
gosh, yes. I have not made the thumbnail yet for it, because I'm still ruminating on ideas and I haven't exactly decided what angle we want to go. But I'm so excited next week. I have a live interview chat with Christian, who is a member of this wonderful community, also has his own channel, A Call to the Universe, here on YouTube. And we had a session together pretty recently in the last couple of months. And I asked him, and he was willing to come on and talk about it. So we're going to kind of debrief from his session. We're going to pull some clips. He's made some images that reflect what he saw, which is, I think, a really cool thing. It reminded me, I don't know if Lisa's still in the chat, but it reminded me of Lisa's book and the images that she put in from her visualizations, from her meditations. But yeah, definitely want to join us next Friday, same time, 5 p.m. I'll be live with Christian, and we'll be chatting through his session and sharing the really cool information that came through. There was a lot around ETs, the foundations of Earth, and like the seeding of the planet. Reptilians came up. There was some really cool, wild stuff that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So make sure you tune in there. And yeah, I think
Other than that, happy solstice.
happy solstice,
Enjoy
y'all.
the sun. Enjoy Cancer season.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us for this wonderful show. Thank you, Corbin, for bringing your astrology knowledge, and definitely looking forward to seeing you all next time. All right, sending you all the love, and good luck for the new moon. All right. Bye, y'all.